It has been nearly 2 weeks since we got the news that Snape would be heading to the Hood in preparation for potions class for the upcoming HBO Harry Potter series, and everybody has had their moment to opine on the decision. Now, HBO tried to be a little sly when it came to the announcement that Paapa Essiedu would be donning the black cape and becoming one of the Death Eaters to eventually bring a different spin on the Half-Blood Prince. They also made a casting announcement for, 6 other roles that are out there. You know, Nick Frost as Hagrid, good job on that one. Janet McTeer for McGonagall, another, good, strong pick. But of the controversial castings, John Lithgow as Dumbledore, and for number one, he's old as hell, so could have another Richard Harris to Michael Gambon situation. I hope not, and hopefully he gets to be there for as long as the series runs. We all want that for sure. John Lithgow, a great actor, but he's also American in a traditionally European, traditionally a UK story. But then, of course, yes, if that controversy ends up getting usurped by Black Snape, the worst race change you could have possibly made in the entire show. A guy who is in the books described time and time again as having long, greasy black hair, a big old hook nose, and skin so dusty white you would think that he would burn if he stepped out in the skin. Not stepping outside for a GQ Africa shoot, which is exactly what you're getting from Paapa Essiedu, which, okay, unless Warner Brothers and HBO are going to just, totally take the piss out of this, and he's just going to show up with the massive prosthetics and wearing whiteface a la white chicks, like, that could be funny. If you want to go that route, if instead of adhering to canonicity and doing a proper adaptation of the source material, if you want to go completely pants on head stupid, be my guest. But no, this was a decision deliberately made because instead of exploring the themes of genetic supremacy and racial purity through the mudbloods and through the house elves, no, you just wanted to have a more on-the-nose interpretation of, he's the misunderstood black professor and people don't trust him because he's black. It's just, you guys are so unoriginal, and this took my enthusiasm for this story, for this adaptation. It took him from all the way up here to I can't even properly show you just how much I don't care about this moving forward. I'll peek in from time to time, but I already know that this shit is cooked, because if this is one of the first decisions you're going to make, I know that you're not going to take the rest of the story seriously, faithfully, what have you. But yes, everybody has talked about this. This has made news headlines for better or for worse, and Essiedu might be a great actor. He's just not going to be the right guy for Snape, okay? But while everybody over the past couple of weeks have taken their shot, I have a few different times over, Paapa himself breaks silence on HBO Harry Potter casting amid race swap backlash of Severus Snape role. Paapa Essiedu has spoken out for the first time since being cast as Severus Snape in the upcoming HBO Harry Potter adaptation, along with 5 other stars. 34-year-old actor's casting has divided fans. Has it really divided fans? Because it's only divided the shill critics going, actually. But no, like the Harry Potter faithful, which we know are a very eclectic group, okay, to put it nicely, they're pretty much saying that this is ass, okay, and they can go into much greater detail, so not really dividing fandom, okay. Essiedu, known for I May Destroy You and Black Mirror, will play the Hogwarts Potions Master, an eventual, series anti-hero. Not quite, okay, because according to the people that are far more familiar with the source material, like, Snape's an ass, like, the entire way through. He is, by all accounts, and by the letter of the law, by the most faithful definition of the term, he is an incel, okay? Like, he had a big case of one-itis for Lily Potter, doesn't give a flying fuck about Harry's father or Harry himself, and then just simply at the end does one good thing because he is still simping after a dead bitch. Like, he's pathetic. Now, the way that Alan Rickman expertly portrayed that interpretation of Snape, that's one thing. But if you want to talk about, how his casting was accepted by the fandom back in the cut, that was divided, for sure. But yes, often considered author J.K. Rowling's Byronic hero. The role was previously brought to life by the late actor Alan Rickman in the original film's adaptations. We know. Confirmed alongside Essiedu were Luke Thallon as Professor Quirinius Quirrell, 5-time BAFTA winner, Paul Whitehouse as the Wizarding School's caretaker, Filch rather. American actor John Lithgow, who won an Emmy for his role as Winston Churchill in The Crown, playing Hogwarts headmaster Albus Dumbledore. And the British star Janet McTeer will take on the role of Professor Minerva McGonagall, while comedian Nick Frost, who has landed the fan favorite role of gamekeeper Rubius Hagrid. Taken to Instagram, Essiedu shared a collage of himself and his confirmed co-stars. Okay. An honor and a privilege to be going on this journey with these legends. We shall eat, and we shall leave no crumbs. See you at Hogwarts, Professor Snape. Okay. Hey, man. All things considered, not bad. Good statement. Not attacking anybody, not playing the victim, because he knows that these conversations are obviously out there. I'm just... As much as I'm going to take shots at the casting agents over at Warner Brothers, HBO, whatever conglomerate is responsible for this stuff, you also got to lay some blame at the feet of, Paapa himself, because, hey, just because you were approached with the role, it's like if I was an actor and I was recommended for the role of playing, I don't know, Kevin Hart in a biopic, it's like, probably bad casting. I appreciate you looking out for me, but not going to be the guy for the role. Okay, not exactly smart choice, and I'm not going to take that heat for that. So no, he's not totally blameless in this either. See, news of Essiedu's casting has been met with divide, with some fearing he does not match the description, of the characters from J.K. Rowling's legendary books, which he doesn't. Multiple times over, thin man with greasy, shoulder-length black hair, a large hooked nose, sallow skin, and cold black eyes. One of the many descriptions of him throughout all of the books does not match any of the sketches that J.K. Rowling herself have made throughout the years. But here's another thing. Okay, here's another thing. For as many people who have talked about this, and Essiedu speaking out, or, at least acknowledging the casting himself, we haven't heard from one person, and it's somebody that I'm not a big fan of. As much as I'm a fan of her work, J.K. Rowling only cares about one goddamn thing, and she has not said word fucking one about any of the casting. What John Lithgow, this is supposed to be a classically UK story. You haven't said anything about that. Black Snape, purposefully contradicting the story that you said was going to be faithfully adapted in this long-form television project that you were going to have an integral role in. Oh, you haven't said anything about that, but no. Because the Supreme Court said that women are women, now you're just going to go ahead and celebrate that. This is why, whenever I bring up J.K. Rowling, I will just go ahead and reaffirm my assumption that she is the biggest misandrist out there. Everything that she can blame on men, she will take that opportunity. Okay, well, women overwhelmingly voting for all of these leftist policies that allowed the tyranny of the trans to run amok over this past decade or so. Who is to blame for that? Oh, that would be for the guys not properly taking care of the women, just not shielding them from the outcome of their decisions, not saving them from the repercussions of their own actions. But Dawn, she's just celebrating, it's so good. Women are finally gonna have their spaces back. Whatever other stupid rejoinder you want to make. Cool, man. Yeah, she can go ahead and, smoke and drink to her heart's content, but the only reason that she is able to do all of that stuff is because of the Harry Potter books, and she hasn't said anything about the besmirchment of her work like that she is arguably probably on side with, because she signed off on Black Hermione, which you can goddamn well guarantee is going to be a reality. I'm thinking that either you're going to get an Indian Hermione or you're going to get a Black Hermione like you had with the Cursed Child play. But I'm definitely thinking, especially at this point, okay, with the Black Snape, you're going to also have race-swapped Weasleys. They're going to be some type of minority because all of the allegory is going to be on the fucking nose. There's not going to be any complex storytelling here because it's going to be for kids. Why do you care about a kid's story, bro? Because you have the opportunity to do a bunch of amazing stuff and extrapolate on a story that has been wildly successful and is essentially the Star Wars for millennials. And decisions like this are going to cause it to become the Star Wars for millennials, another dead fucking franchise. So J.K. Rowling celebrates UK Supreme Court ruling that sex is binary and torches transgender activists because this is the only thing that she fucking cares about. The court ruled in favor of, for women Scotland. The definition of sex is, in the EA 2010 makes clear that the concept of sex is binary. A person is either a woman or a man. You're celebrating common sense. Okay. Oh, that's just a sign of how fallen or how far we have fallen. Oh, but it's so base that the Supreme Court had to come in and say that women are women and men are men. Rowling following the ruling. Rowling posted, "We toasted you for Women's Scotland." Neil said it's TERF VE Day. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, Supreme Court, women's rights. And who made that ruling, by the way? The court ruled. Oh, okay, cool. You don't want to give credit to them. In another post, she shared a picture of herself smoking a cigar, as well as what appears to be an alcoholic beverage of some time. I love it when a plan comes together. Why? Because you just screech on social media and you don't do anything to uphold the franchise that made you popular. But here you go. Rowling wrote, yes, back on April 16th, breaking. Man thinks it's evil for a woman to have rights. See, once again, we'll be checking the front seat of India's Fiat 500 for further updates as we get them. In another post, she had a news update. Man literally numb with shock and shaking to discover he hasn't got women's rights. The Fiat 500 appears to be stationary. More as we get it. See, it's always a man. It's not a mentally disturbed individual. No, it's a man. In another post, Rowling mocked Willoughby, India Willoughby, UK authorities warn that due to unprecedented demand, national supplies of coke are running dangerously low. This is more important than talking about the casting for the series that's going to define your legacy. Okay, this continues to go on, and you might find this to be intensely based. Oh my god, men are men, women are women, blah, 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 all of that crap. But you know what I find it? Exceptionally cringe. I'm not out here trying to save these hoes. And if you want to simp for them, if you want to go ahead and cheer on their destruction of male spaces in order to uphold female feelings, you go ahead and you support that. I'm out here trying to stand for conventional values and quality storytelling. Something, or rather two things, that J.K. Rowling couldn't give less of a shit about. But hey, women supremacy, am I right? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Doc Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.